Assalamualaikum. In this video, we'll be presenting on the challenges regarding the Islamic Unit Trust Fund in Malaysia in accordance with the conventional counterpart. However, before we get into it, I first will introduce what Unit Trust is. For your information, Unit Trust is an investment scheme that pulls money from many investors who share similar financial objective, investment strategy and risk tolerance. There are two types of unit trust that we will discuss, which is Islamic unit trust and conventional unit trust. For the Islamic unit trust, it is interest-free, has no element of gambling and ambiguity, whereas for the conventional unit trust, it's totally opposite. In Malaysia, there are few unit trusts that are available, where according to the Long Street, the top unit trust funds that have been performing in Malaysia over the span of 3 years are as shown, where KF core income funds hold the highest return at 125.36%.
Moving on to the challenges, first and foremost, there is a huge difference between the Islamic Unit Trust Fund and its conventional counterpart, where the Islamic Unit Trust Funds are known to be a less diversified investment portfolio due to the prohibition of interest, gambling and ambiguity. You may ask, how so? Well, when these strict screening rules are implied, there would be a broad mix of investments that fund managers can venture into, thus resulting in a concentrated portfolio. To top it off, there is also a common issue of some companies refraining from deducting a portion of profits to be set aside as zakat. Thus, the purification process in the form of zakat or sadaqah fails to be executed. Not to mention the difficulty of Malaysia having to abide by both Sharia and civil courts as our country embodies a dual banking system. Although Malaysia recognizes Sharia in commercial laws, secular laws would still be applied to mitigate any religious contradictions that may occur.
Furthermore, a challenge also spirals from the lack of appreciation and knowledge on Islamic finance, or in other words, the customer awareness in Islamic unit trust is low. For instance, there has been criticism voiced out from the citizens of Malaysia that the calculation of proceeds are similar between the conventional and Islamic. This clearly indicates that the public are not exposed to comprehensible inputs on Islamic finance. To further support this claim, a study was done to assess the public perception on knowledge of Islamic unit trust in Malaysia, and the results show that even though they have a general knowledge on it, there is still a slight misconception about the Sharia compliant screening methodology.
Next, with these challenges mentioned, it is only normal for it to result in risk. However, on the bright side, due to Islamic unit trust being concerned about Sharia compliant restrictions, it is safe to say that it is not affected by market risk. Meanwhile, as the conventional counterpart involves interest rate, it then inclines the investors to be affected by the economic cycle. According to a study done on the performance of conventional and Islamic unit trusts, the beta values for Islamic funds were lower compared to conventional, indicating that Islamic funds are less sensitive to market change. So we can say that stock screening plays a major role to prevent the influence of such uncertainties and fluctuations in the market.
Now that we've analysed the challenges of Islamic unit trust in Malaysia, let's proceed with our recommendations to mitigate said challenges. First, investors can diversify their investment portfolios and still comply with the Sharia principles by venturing into a fixed income investment called sukuk, which is similar to a bond. This provides a regular flow of income periodically to investors until the maturity date. Moreover, in order to ensure the purification process in the form of zakat and the application of Sharia laws in Malaysia's existing rulings, the Sharia Advisory Council will have to take extensive measures to conduct proper discussions to address the issue. Therefore, consistent and inflexible Sharia principles will stand under any circumstances in the future. On top of that, to solve the lack of consumer awareness, better and further education given to the public would help. For instance, unit trust experts and professionals should take on the initiative to promote this Islamic product, as well as narrowing the knowledge gap, which then allows the public to know more about the investment choices available. At the same time, the government could also play a role by spreading comprehensible information regarding the concept of Islamic Unit Trust Fund through seminars and mass media.